The first Blockbuster in the community was on 95th in Evergreen Park, and it's still there. It did not faze us at all. A Blockbuster opened on 110th Place and Western. We're at 106th. And that didn't faze us for a long time. There was a gradual eroding. Then they were unhappy with that location, so they moved closer still. They moved 2 blocks closer. And so now they're only 2 blocks away. We feel them. I'd be foolish if I said we didn't. Of course we feel them.
More professional people start walking in. Like, first, I noticed Blockbuster came in, then Hollywood came in.
It kind of made the business more stable, actually, as not just a fly-by-night, which it had the reputation of being for a long time. Then it had a little bit of solidness to it, and Blockbuster helped that.
But because of this whole big chain and they were being a public, smaller independent people couldn't survive because they always used to start different deal directly with the studio, which smaller guys don't even know there's such a deal are existing out there.
Blockbuster is associated with a company called Rentrax, which is a company who supplies them maybe 100 copies of video or DVD of any film at a certain percentage. They don't have to buy them. And then they share revenue on that product every time it's rented. Some money goes to the store, some money goes to them. Here in our case, we don't have anything like that. We strictly have to buy it from the wholesaler. Whatever we buy, it's up to us how many we want to keep on the rental rack and how many we want to keep on the sales rack.
I'm just kind of concerned about the independent stores because I think there's a lot of pressure on them financially because of the chain stores and what the amount of the sheer amount of volume of what the chain stores could bring in.
I think that people's perception, whether it's true or not, is very valid. They advertised a lot of copies. Well, the truth is, we'd go in there and count. We had the same number of copies, if not more. Perception is very significant, I think.
And they come along and say, we have a new thing now, Movie Pass, $14.95, all the movies you want. You never have to pay late fees. Took the legs right out from underneath all the independents in last quarter, which is a big quarter for us. That's when we really make money. People, they ran out of here. They ran out. Said, I am not going to. Why should I pay you? This was the arguments I would get at the counter. Why should I pay you? I can go to Blacksmith. We'll go. Okay, all right, whatever.
They have these bigger companies supporting them to, have more rentals and guaranteed copy. That's why they can advertise, we'll guarantee to have it. And in our case, we don't have any company to support us and give us at that deal.
And then Hollywood Video comes along and says, 5 days for $1.49. And we're getting like $2.50 for a day? How do you, that does, no, that didn't work. They overdid everything and said, you can have anything for 5 days. Well, then, Tuesday, new release day, you go in, everything's gone. Okay, whether you buy 20 or 50 or whatever, gone. What do you got Wednesday? Nothing. What do you got Thursday? Nothing. What do you got Friday? Barely a couple. By Saturday, now you're 5 days, you've lost income all them days, and you're going to get another $1.49? How is that you make money? That is not making money. That's crazy, okay? That's crazy.
It was much, much harder to make a living.
A lot of little stores closed up, and the ones that did stay were hanging on by a thread.
People have the opinion where they could get at a Blockbuster for $2. Why pay $4 for this guy here?
There was a lot of talk in the papers, videos failing, video on demand. We've been hearing about video on demand forever.
The business has changed, and I'd have to say that Netflix probably took a turn.
Netflix.
Netflix's success is because we built a better mousetrap. We give American consumers a better way to enjoy movies at home. The company has grown by just building a better business model than was out there before. At the end of 2004, Netflix had 2.6 million members. At the end of 2005, 4.2 million members. We're going to close 2006 million members, and we're going to have 20 million members in the next 4 to 6 years by 2010 to 2012. That is a meteoric rise for a company that did not exist prior to 1998.
I can see if you have a highly specialized interest, it might be met by Netflix.
It is. I think so. It's a convenient.
If you have an interest in foreign films or a lot of independent films,
At the average video store, there are 2,000 to 3,000 titles. Most of them are new releases. At Netflix, there are 60,000 titles. 60,000 titles, not a couple of thousand, but 60,000 titles. Anything from Yoda to yoga, storefronts where you have to drive to and go, and they have limited selection, and most of them are checked out, and you have to pay a late fee or you have to pay a restocking charge if you keep it more than a week. We believe that those stores are going to be closing by the thousands because of the offering that Netflix has.
Right now, today, Netflix is a competitor, and I guess their objective, based on what their president has said, is to put every video store out of business.
Netflix, I think, was definitely the dent.
Now Netflix directly mailing and everything, and DVDs being such as inexpensive, they're affecting Blockbuster too.
Well, that just kicked them right in the ass.
I was surprised when Blockbuster did it. Maybe on paper it sounded good.
Well, I don't think that a small store can survive without a late fee. They just can't.
No, I don't think an independent can compete with it at all.
I think so. Late fee was like an extra cushion. There was a profit I would count. There was 20 to 30% of revenue was in your business.
Late fees is just extra income, basically, and it's great to have.
When you cut down late fee, that means you're cutting down your profit, you know.
When a movie comes in late, you could have rented that film to someone else and created revenue on that, generated revenue on that. But because it came late, you probably lost out on it.
Most of our survival is based on late fees. Most of our income, I would say, at least 50% comes from late fees.
If you were Hertz and renting cars, if someone kept their car an extra 6 days, would you just say, "Did you love it? Thank you," and let it go at that? No, of course not.
If you rent a car business and it says, don't bring it back, no late fee, no extra day charge, then people would keep it for a year and bring it back, you know.
Now I realize the value in a video and a Chevy is different, but it is the same thing in a way. It is leased property, and that's how we make our money, by leasing it over and over again, especially when it's new and attractive.
And all of a sudden, slowly, they're dwindling back in, oh, I had to do this, or I had to do that, or they never have any movies, because nobody returns nothing. They can keep them for as long as they want. Okay, so how many people actually are going to run back the next day?
I think the movie Ray was the movie that really hit at that particular time. The end of late fees came, and people weren't returning their tapes. So Blockbuster was out of Ray right off the bat. People took it out. I don't care if they had 200 or 400 copies, whatever the case was. People would walk into this store, and we had it. They didn't have it.
I think this is a part of the reason why Blockbuster is in such financial pain. Recently, they've been saying that the end of late fees might not have been an end at all.
For a whole year, almost, it took for people to finally figure out that, no, it's not as sweet as they make it seem.
When it happened, a few customers came in and said, "What do you mean a late fee? I thought there was no more late fees."
We have really ourselves become very lax about late fees because of that. I've lost so many customers because of their laziness, not mine. I have nothing to do with it, but because they let a movie sit at their house for, say, 3 movies, 15 days. All right, there you got $60. They don't want to hear about $60. They'll walk out and never come back.
This is why Netflix has grown to what will be 20 million subscribers by the next 4 to 6 years. There's never any late fee. It's as easy as it can be to rent movies. Netflix is where you can go now to get DVDs, and now also high-def DVDs, and soon Blu-ray DVDs, or HD DVDs now and Blu-ray when they come out.
I don't know, then they keep talking about these little shorter or smaller discs, and it's like once we've got, a quantity of larger discs, then we have to start getting these little things now.